Let's see if we're okay. It says live. All right, I see us.
Yeah, I see us too.
Okay. Here I'm gonna mute my microphone right now, just so I can see. I was gonna say, like, go ahead and talk, Gary, so we can see.
Hello. I exist.
So one is live. Yay, our first ever episode. Currently don't have people on here yet, obviously, because we just started the thing. Let's see if retweet that, and then have to go through my phone and check it. Because like I have the account like connected to my phone, like it'll pop up with the notifications too. So this is our very first episode, everybody. I don't know if anybody is here. I'm seeing 0 viewers right now. It'll probably change to 1 viewer when Gary's looking at it.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so this is our very first episode of Bugz2Men, a brand new. It's not really a podcast because it's all video rather than audio. I do want to eventually get into that. I think I'm going to ask Eric for tips. But yeah, so this is a brand new show where we talk primarily about Kamen Rider. Primarily. So I am one of your hosts, of course. I'm Reggie, True KRO's. People on various gaming platforms mispronounce it as True Crew. So, I mean, I went for like a long time where people were calling me that. It was just like, yeah, whatever.
Oh my god, True Crew. I'm gonna get that trademarked.
Now, see, that's why, like, in all my YouTube videos that I've done for like my review channel, like, is like I go like, you know, 2KR, and rather than 2KRO's reviews, I say True Crew reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, like, yeah, as I was saying, I'm a fan of Kamen Rider, so that's why I wanted to start this with my buddy Gary. Gary, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. My name's Gary. I've been a Kamen Rider fan for 12 years. I met Reggie through complete and utter chance, like because of just being on Twitter and being around other people. And you know, I love Kamen Rider too. I haven't finished a full series in a long time as it's airing, but
I was gonna say, like, we need to correct that if you haven't finished a full series.
You know what? I'm working on it. I think my next Rider series that I want to finish is Kabuto. So I've always been curious. But yeah, so that's me. That's my intro.
Yeah. So, you know, Gary just mentioned like how long he's been a fan of Kamen Rider. Like, I knew about Kamen Rider ever since I was 8 years old. My dad was in the military, so we moved to Japan, and I would go to like, you know, Yumi Town and Jusco, like outside the base, and I would keep seeing these guys with like big old bug eyes, like, and I was like, "What? These guys look kind of familiar, but they look kind of cool." It wasn't really until a few around the time of Hibiki actually that I started watching the shows. So I just changed the channel up on TV. I can't remember if it's like channel 31 or something back then, but I just see like, you know, the dun 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 dun. I'm just like, what is going on here? And then of course, you know, Kabuto came up after. Fun fact, even though like most everybody knows that I'm a huge fan of Kamen Rider O's, Kamen Rider Kabuto's theme Next Level is actually one of my favorite theme songs of all time. Like, if you look at my phone's like my playlist, it's like probably under like the top 10 of how many, you know, replays that have been. But yeah, so then like right before I left Japan was when Deno was airing. That was when I got my first DX piece. Like I know that like way back when Team Rider was first starting up, and like, you know, they're asked, like I was like really trying to pump them up, so I started up this like Twitter thread saying like, what was your first ever Kamen Rider item or collectible or stuff like that. Actually, it wasn't the Dengasher like I thought. I remembered it was actually this little G3 magnet that I have no idea where it's at, but I really want to find it again. But yeah, so of course, I left Japan in 2007. Kiva was airing like in 2008, and then I just kept watching and watching through like different like touring sites and like TV Nihon and all that up until like high school. That's when I was starting to show it to people in the States. Like I was trying to get them into Kamen Rider too. Like it's basically like, hey, this is something I love. You're my friends. Like I'm the nerdy kid who just moved from another country, and you guys were like wondering, like, hey, who, like, what's up with this guy? And like, I was just showing my friends Kamen Rider Double in like homeroom, and then like it kind of became like a trend, like where we just like show everybody, like, or like not show everybody, but at least in that homeroom, just every time we have like homeroom free time, like I was just showing them the new episode like every single week. So eventually Tokyo Nation got formed. I was posting like a lot of like Rider of the Year threads. We have like a one rider versus another rider. I listed off all the details, and then people would vote on like who they think would win. Eventually, O's won, and around that time is when I was actually approached by Toku Chris, good friend from all these years, to be part of the staff. So right now I'm currently an admin for them. So like I haven't been doing a very good job though of posting news though. That's my bad, to be honest. Like I'm the one who finds the stuff, and then I just post it in our chat, and then it's like, hey guys, this is here, and then I just like leave. But yes, that's why I just say to like, oh, Southern Boy 911 says hee haw in chat.
Hee haw, motherfucker.
Hey, well, this is my Twitch channel. I mean, when we get to YouTube, we're gonna probably start censoring things out. I'm gonna try and see if when I get better at editing, if I can just put Kamen Rider sound effects over every cuss.
So I actually have a very interesting rider story. So my first rider technically was Dragon Knight.
Okay.
But my first proper rider series was Decade. But that was not my first exposure to Kamen Rider. Oh no. You see, this was back when YouTube was first starting, and everyone was posting AMVs for every little thing, like Power Ranger AMVs set to oh my god, I'm a terrible nerd. What's the name of Guile? That's what it is. Like, I saw AMVs set to Guile's theme for Power Rangers from Street Fighter. So the first ever exposure to Rider that I had was through two forms. First, Ubihara, which was an old toy blog, and the second one was Lord of the Speed. No, was the B Fighter theme song set to clips from Kabuto, and I thought they were new big bad Beetleborgs. And it was like one of Kabuto's henshins, and they said cast off. I'm like, what? We're getting new big bad Beetleborgs? Now, mind you, I was like 13 at the time, and I just started watching Sentai.
Yeah, I'm glad, like, we're currently in a world where people are like, getting more in touch with, Kamen Rider. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of news to talk today. So, well, a little bit more on the concept of this show. So, primarily, this show will be more on talking rather than just news. We're also going to be having, like, eventually, I want to include more guests in here. Gary and I were talking about this earlier. So while this will be primarily a Kamen Rider themed show, in episodes hosted by Gary, they'll be talking about Super Sentai or Ultraman, other forms of tokusatsu. I almost mispronounced that. I am embarrassed. Different forms of tokusatsu where, people can enjoy themselves. But yeah, like I'll be primarily hosting Kamen Rider things because like Kamen Rider is a big part of, my life. It's a big part of my, role with this fandom. So, yeah, we're gonna be talking like when Gary gets to that, like, but like I want to do a little bit more, so I want to involve like guests where we talk about like, hey, the music of Kamen Rider, like people that either create like music videos, like my good buddy Sentai 5, or like happen to like do Kamen Rider theme covers, just kind of like go over like because I used to do that a lot when I was still like starting up in college. I used to do a lot of like Kamen Rider like English versions, primarily of Deno's songs, double action, each of the different ones, because I would do like the little voice impersonations and stuff like that. So I want to pull like people like that, dubs, like Dubs v Sub type situation. because like people, like a lot of people did fandoms. Like I did one in college with Zeltrax. We did a Decade fandom where I was basically every other character but Decade, and then like also kind of like on because I customize action figures and stuff like that. Custom photography is something that I really started to get into as well. So I want to bring my buddy Jay.
Yeah.
I would love to have Darius just kind of talk about it too. I mean I've only talked with Darius like only a couple times doing like Kamen Rider panels, but yeah, that's like he's an inspiration for like my photography. Like he's a big reason why I wanted to start taking pictures. Yeah, like that's kind of the thing of how I wanted to have this show go on is not just be news but also about other members of the community, like different portions of the community. Either talking about like nostalgic writer moments, key writer moments. So I mean, like we're obviously going to get into the news portion right now. I'm gonna try my hardest not to do spoilers for people for some of these things.
Spoilers.
Yeah, because obviously, Gary, this is Rider Week. So everybody knows it's the 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider as of yesterday. So Team Rider is going to be doing like this big old week of, panels and reviews and things like that. So let's get into it though. So we're starting off with collectibles. So let me start sharing my screen. I could.
Yeah, because I have some thoughts.
Yeah. So we're going to talk first about SH Figure Arts. So SH Figure Arts, of course, are the collectible action figure line, more for, like they're very like high detail. I got a couple behind me right here. Like, for example, let me just grab him right here because he's the easiest and I don't think he'll knock anybody over. We have Thouser from Kamen Rider 01. Ooh. 01 we'll talk about a lot more later as well.
I like the gold paint on the suit.
Yeah. The only issue with mine, though, is that if you look really closely, there is like some chipping at his neck. I think that was just because of how the paint was set on him. But yeah, so we're starting with SH Figure Arts. So they held a little stream on the 2nd where they second in Japan, but the first, for us, like it was like around midnight, where they talked about the different, like upcoming releases, and they did 4 reveals. Well, 4 I say, but 1 was actually already known about. And then the other 2 were kind of leaked in a way. I mean, they were already put up for order on the website, but yeah. So of course, when I say that they showed, upcoming releases, so like this month we're getting 01, Realizing Hopper, Kamen Rider Ichigata, Type 1, his dad from the movie, and then Kamen Rider 01 Metal Cluster Hopper. Those are all coming out on the 16th. I'm excited. And then like they started to go over these reveals. So I'm going to pull up Tocollector's page. Tocollector is a very awesome, Tocollector / Tocollectibles. They're a very awesome service. I've used them for years. You can get like different action figures from here. They have like different pre-orders that they put up. So let's start off with the very first one that they showed, which was an Shinkocho Seiho. Shinkocho Seiho is, the true bone carving, like the one, the figure line where they try to make it as close to the suit as possible. So, like I have a couple of those, like O's and stuff like that. But this is the very first one that they showed off, which was Kamen Rider Dark Kiva. So, Dark Kiva, of course, I'll just say this portion of him, like, he eventually, like, there's more than one user for Dark Kiva.
Yeah.
But the primary one was the original King Fangair from the 1980s. With Kiva Bat II. So, as you can see here, Shinkocho Seiho, Dark Kiva was originally released way back when as a normal, a standard figure art line, but he was premium Bandai back then. But this is actually retail, so it's not as expensive to some people. You can see right here the nice metallic red, the dark black, the very turquoise eyes. And as you can see, he also has a rarity, a cloth cape.
Yeah. I have a couple thoughts about Dark Kiva. Number one, I love her getting Dark Kiva before Emperor Form. Just saying.
Well, if you remember, Dark Kiva and Emperor Form, they're basically the same mold. It's just different head.
Right. I'll say this: the metallic red looks really, really clean. I love also the black cape, the black cape and the white, and like the black and white contrast really well together. Coming from a former art major, I really have no problem. My only question was, did Dark Kiva have a sword in the show? I don't remember.
He did, and eventually became Kamen Rider Kiva's like main weapon. There is, from what I saw, obviously it's not going to be listed here on this page, but Dark Kiva apparently only comes with his hands for holding. I'm guessing that they're going to save the swords for Emperor form. But that's not too bad though, because I mean, like, you can get a lot when it comes to pictures. You can get a lot just from the figure itself.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean, here's another thing to keep in mind. They can probably because so we're getting Dark Kiva. We're bound to get Emperor at some point. If I had to guess before the end of the year, here's what I want to know: has there been any like rumors going around of them doing some Choku Seiho for like Kiva Gururu or any of the other like non-final forms?
I haven't seen anything like that yet. So far, the only Kamen Riders that have had their multiple forms have been O's, Double, and Kuga. So I guess it's really all dependent. I mean, like, well, also kind of Deno. But yeah, of those, haven't
You
seen
sure they
anything.
do Agito? I could have sworn I saw something for an Agito storm form.
No, there's been a lot of customizers who've been doing it, but they haven't made Agito Storm, or like, what's the other one? I'm blanking right now. Or Trinity, of course. They haven't done that yet. So yeah, this was the very first reveal. So this was revealed. Obviously, pre-orders went up on April 2nd, and this will be coming out in August. So as you can see here, though, they're like, apparently there will be a Bluefin release. I'm not 100% sure about that, but typically when they do that, when Toku Collectibles does that, that means that there pretty much is, or there may be. So, but we do have, Japanese release. So this is coming out in August. So let's move on to the next one, which was Shinkocho Seiho Kamen Rider Kuga Growing Form. Now, Growing Form also had a release way back then as an original, but this one, of course, this is representing Yusuke Godai's, form before he gets like the full on like Kuga abilities in a way.
Yeah.
So he comes with like a good amount of accessories, including the little because if you haven't watched Kuga, basically when he transforms into his other forms like Dragon and Pegasus here, if he's holding like an item that's like somewhat similar, like they transmutate and become like so dragons are like rod, or Pegasus is like little like, I think it's like kind of an arrow gun or crossbow. So like they transmutate. So like he has like here you can see he comes with the little like traffic cone bar, and then Ichijo's is it Ichijo? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Ichijo. I will say this much. I really like Growing Form. I know that's probably a controversial statement. Ooh. But I really like Growing Form. The only thing I never understood about Growing Form was the horns. Just the horns being shorter than like Mighty or
Well, when you think about it, it's kind of representative because like well, Kuga kind of has a stag beetle theme to it, and as stag beetles are developing, their mandibles grow longer, so it's literally growing.
I mean, the only I have no complaints about it at all. I think it looks phenomenal. I really like all the gold. I like the white. Yeah, that's all. Those are all my thoughts about it. What do you think, Reggie?
Well, yeah, it's a very nice form. Like honestly, if I wasn't all pro O's going in for forms, like I would get it, because I did not get Dragon or Pegasus. But yeah, it's a very nice, clean form. I mean, we don't get a lot of white Kamen Riders for armor. The one thing I would wish that they would do is like how sometimes in like say Kamen Rider Deno's like platform, he has like the blink kind of belt. If the Arkle was white or like clear, but I get it because like, obviously that's how they designed the belt, but and it's supposed to be like kind of representative of the Typhoon from Ichigo. So yeah, that was the second reveal. This will be out in September, I believe. Yep, September. And then, well, this was actually shown off earlier.
I remember seeing something about that on Twitter.
Yeah, Fig Soku and like Tamashii Nations eventually revealed it themselves. They put this up, so yeah, that's why people like already knew about it before the stream, so they're like, oh, okay. I mean, it's cool though because like it comes with the accessories. But yeah, it wasn't really too much of a surprise. The next one though is going to be the biggest surprise of all for everybody, I believe, because this was one that nobody saw coming, which was SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider build Nin Comic. So the reason why this is such a big reveal is the fact that Build has not had any of his best match forms revealed/released at all. Like you have Rabbit Tank, you have Rabbit Tank Sparkling, you have Hazard, Rabbit, Tank. You don't have Genius yet, but like Hazard came with the Hawk Gatling eyes. You could get Metal Build for the Pirate Resha or Kaizoku Resha and the Dragon Lock eyes.
Yeah.
So like that's why Nin Comic is such a big reveal to people. It's because like this is a brand new form. This is like obviously you can see it here in the molding. It's different foot. It's actually a different leg of here on the ninja side as well.
Yeah.
And overall, like what people like kind of pointed out, like this, hey, maybe they're using this to represent a certain character. I won't say who, from the show. So like I think that's why I really wanted to go in on this. I mean, plus Nin Comic is one of my favorite build forms because it's a purple ninja.
Yeah.
And what also was surprising to people is that his weapon is actually, you can see it's actually decorated. It's not blank. Like the panels actually have detail on them. Because I mean, like you notice, like a lot of recent like Figure Arts releases, like for example, 01, the progress keys only have like the little decal for the part that goes into the build, or ZO, where the ride watches are missing the sticker. So that's why people were really just like, wow, this is so cool. This thing is all decorated and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we're gonna have like the standard kind of, because this is not part of the Seiho line, so you can see here the little scarf piece looks to be plastic. So
I mean, here's something that I don't understand. Like, and this was the same thing going back to how before Kiva got announced. Because I think Reggie, you and I both remember all the memes that were a thing of like, oh, like for example, such and such rider before Kiva, such and such rider before Kiva. Now it's gonna be such and such rider/form before Build Genius.
Well, I mean, the form that actually should be memed at this point should be Ghost Mugen Damashi, because that is currently the only final form besides Genius that hasn't been released yet.
I mean, I try to forget that Ghost existed because that's actually, believe it or not, Ghost is how I discovered Toy Collectibles. I was all in on the Ghost toy line, and I regret it.
Ooh, I am haunting your wallet.
I mean, listen. Because of Ghost, I did not like that show. I watched the first 10, 12 episodes. It's like, yeah, this show is awesome. And then I got the toys, and I'm like, crap.
Well, they're not that too bad. I mean, it's just the hoodie aspect of it. I think there's a lot of hindering in articulation because of it.
Oh yeah.
There could have been more design changes for it, but yeah, it was also a series with Unfortunate Ryan. Like I don't, because like a lot of people, they will automatically say like I hate Ghost, worst Rider series ever. Like no, it's a decent Rider series. I think it just had like unfortunate times for the writer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nin Comic, the third reveal, nobody was really expecting it. I mean, Gary, what are your thoughts on Nin Comic itself, though?
Like Reggie, Nin Comic is my favorite build form because I like the color contrast. I like the overall aesthetic, and I like all the colors. I wish it wasn't $100.
Yeah, import fees can do that for you, man.
Because I mean, I have things I gotta save up for this year. So as much as I really want to grab the Nin Comic figure art, I can't because I have prior financial obligations. But if you're a hardcore Build fan, because I've only seen the first 2 episodes of Build,
you really should correct that.
I'm going to.
that.
I've been told to get caught up on so many Rider series, and I fully intend to. Especially since like the rest of the day that I got nothing to do, so I'll probably crank out like 8 episodes of Build.
Yeah, man, you gotta. I mean, like, I convinced somebody else to get into it, and they're like, "I need everything now," so you got to do it, man. All right, and the final reveal, the final pre-orderable reveal was. Let me see if I can do this right. Oh, I have to make a waffle.
Wait, sorry, I got lost for a second. I got lost in the woods. Oh yeah, Grand Zeo's the thing.
Yeah, so everybody. Kuga Akito Yuki Bison Blade! Hibiki Kamen Rider no Kiva Decade! Double Oz Foze! Wizard Gaim Drive! Ghost Exedo Build! Iwae! Kamen Rider! Grand Geo! Now, Grand Geo is, of course, the final form of Kamen Rider Go, where he utilizes all 20 Kamen Rider powers from the Heisei era. This form is beautiful, but there is, of course, you can see in this picture the main complaint people are going to have:
the lack of detail.
Yeah, where are the little Rider Watch faces that are supposed to be on the belt?
Probably wasn't in the budget. I will say this: I've seen a decent amount of Geo. I do like this form quite a bit. My only complaint is once again the price, but that's just me. Because there are people who are in far better financial situations than me and can afford to buy every last figure ever created.
I just love the fact that this is actually one of their product pictures.
I mean, because I guarantee they're like, O's is pretty popular. So,
fun fact: O's was so far the only Kamen Rider that's had a reissue for their Seiho.
I actually have a fun story real quick as to how I got my Figure Arts O's.
If it's going to be the same story as how I got my 4th and 5th one, then I think that's what you're going with.
Well, for the people at home, there was a time where GameStop listed the Figure Art for $17.
Got mine for $12.
Anyway, so a friend of the show, Toka Chris, posted, yeah, people are, they still have them. So I was at my friend's house. I call Chenix, who's a dear friend of mine, and I was like, do you want a Shinchoki Seiho O? He's like, how much? $17. Yes. So I got my Shinchoki Seiho O's for like 24 ship, which was fantastic. He's a great figure art. I want Putotera. That's my favorite form.
That needs
and
to be a
Sagozo.
thing. I'm really hoping that there is some news drop about because Putotera and Sagozo. Sagozo more so because there was that that toy show that they did, and Sagozo had a little placard on him that said February. I'm like, February? Does that mean pre-orders are going to open around that time? News is going to happen that time? It's April.
And there's been literally nothing.
Literally nothing about Sagozo. But yeah, Grand Geo, the final form, all up in gold, using the Grand Geo Ride Watch, which is, of course, I have the thing on my shelf, all the way over there. You can't see me where I'm pointing, but all the way there. I want to take it out and just show you guys what's missing on there, but I can't because it's only under a bunch of different stuff. But as you can see, it's beautifully detailed with different little sculpts of the Kamen Riders themselves. See, just there on this leg alone.
I mean, here's a question. I don't pay attention to the RKF line.
Yep.
Is there an RKF for Grand Geo? And if so, is it more detailed?
There is. I don't think it is as detailed, though. I think it might be because you see there's little kind of purple or periwinkle kind of backgrounds for them. Yeah. I think it's just molded in the gold plastic. So it's going to not be as detailed, but customizers can probably paint that up really easily and get that more detailed. Of course, unlike the other Geo forms, because he has those decals, he doesn't have the Ride Watch holders on his arms. He has traces of them for the little gauntlets, but yeah. He does not come with weapons, by the way. He just comes with hands. The weapon is provided from a different figure art from Kamen Rider GL.
See, that's disappointing. They charge all this money for figure arts, and they're like, yeah, guys, no weapons for you. I'm like,
well, you gotta remember that this is a premium Bandai item, so they're probably considering people who actually can or have collected the other portions of the line. I mean, because yeah, like there are various kinds of collectors. Like usually, yeah, like I said with me earlier, I'm typically just the main form of the writer, and if I like the series, then I'll get the other writers that are involved in that series. But like for this, yeah, like I love Geo design, but if I were to get it, I'd probably get it like way in the future. Like funny time travel. But like I would. This is not one of those forms that I would just spring for. Like Ninden comic, I was just like yes, but this like yeah, Grand Geo, I was waiting on it. I was hoping that it would come with more stuff, but yeah, no. So like this, I'm fine just waiting on this. But well, while this was the last pre-orderable reveal of that toy stream, they also had I didn't pull up the picture though, but they also had Shadow Moon's Satan Saber, part of the Propico line, I believe. Because we had the Volcane from Black RX, and then now we have the Satan Saber. The Satan Saber is also coming to the States from what I saw on Topolitical site. I believe it's like 120 something, 150 something. Actually, let me pull it up. It should be on here.
I mean, I haven't seen Black RX, but even
140. Okay, yeah. Look at
even
this.
Even I know that's a dope ass sword. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that. Like all the
all gold and shiny and blood red.
Here's a picture with somebody holding it. I don't know who. But yeah, other than that, the little gems encrusted on the side with this nice semi-translucent red blade. That is.
I was gonna say, Reggie, my inside sources. my inside sources at Hasbro. I mean, wow, Hasbro. Tamashi have told me who it is. It's Jim from accounting.
Not Jim from accounting. But yeah, that was like, so they showed off all this, so these are all the pre-orderable items, but they showed off one last item, which is from the current Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider Saber, which is in this next picture, Kamen Rider Psycho X Swordsman. Now this is his full-on X Swordsman form, because X Swordsman has like 3 different configurations, but this is the X Swordsman form. So you can see he has the Psycho Blade in his hand. He has the X Swordsman What a Ride book in his belt. He's like all manga, like American comic book style. So this is a beautiful form. They did mention, if I couldn't really hear, I mean, it was like 5 a.m. ish that this was showing. So I didn't really hear when this thing is going up. But it is a big surprise though, because we haven't seen, we've seen Saber, we've seen Blades, we've seen Espada and Caliber, 4 primary writers in the show. And then we've seen Saber's getting Draconic Knight. His it's not really his mid-season form. His mid-season form is Primitive Dragon, but excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Nope, never mind. But Draconic Knight. Oh jeez, I sneezed. Sorry. But yeah, Draconic Knight was kind of like Zeo, or not Zeo, kind of like 01's Shining Hopper form. I mean, like a little form that comes in between the somewhat like next evolved form. Although when you think about that contrast, Shining is more comparable to Primitive, but you get what I mean. So we've seen another Saber form, but we haven't seen Slash or Kenzan or Buster yet, and that's what's really weird, because Buster and Slash are very popular. Sorry, Kenzan, but
I hate Kamen Rider Kenzan. That's just me. The fact that we don't have Buster as a figure art yet really makes me mad, because that's the one Saber figure I would buy in wholeheartedly.
I was honestly thinking that Buster would have been the next reveal after Caliber. So seeing Draconic Knight, another grayish silverish rider form, I'm just like, Buster where?
Yeah, like give me Buster. Give me. 'Cause here's the thing: have they revealed a Jackie Dragon's caliber's power to form? Right, or is that Jow Dragon?
Yeah, Jowl Dragon. They haven't yet. They have only revealed Jakku Dragon caliber.
Give me the upgrade, and I will buy that because that is my favorite jingle. Believe it or not, in Saber, because it's death metal, and I love metal.
Yeah, they like Jowl plus Jowl Dragon is a beautiful suit. It's like evil cross from build. But yeah, this was the last figure art reveal in terms of in terms of collectibles, but there was a big reveal. So people know of the complete selection modification line. It's basically Kamen Rider belts that are made to fit adult collectors to a certain degree. So they revealed that eventually this is going to come out. The CSM Henshin belt Typhoon, the Henshin belt of the original Kamen Rider.
No, no, no.
Rider.
Shin. I think I did that right.
Yeah. Kamen Rider 50th Anniversary Memorial Set. I'm intrigued as to how they're going to do this. Because, I mean, like, well, you have Ichigo right here on the side. You can see it's kind of like a leather belt type situation. So I'm wondering, are they going to make it leather or is it going to still be plastic? But this thing is going to be immense. Like, we haven't gotten any details in terms of pre-order or anything like that, but eventually we'll get to that. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that they're doing a new CSM for Ichigo's belt. I don't know what it's going to do or how much it's going to be because if we're going by previous CSM releases, I think they're at least 250s. I remember.
It really depends on the situation of the belt itself too, because remember the CSM Project Arc Sengoku drivers, like, you know, they don't come with any lock seats or anything like that. They're like roughly 125-ish. So yeah, it really all depends on the size of or what this comes with, to be honest, because like this could be anywhere from like, yeah, that 125. I'd say more 150, just because like it's. I heard somebody fall.
Oh no! I hope nothing fell.
I'll check it out later. But yeah, the like the 125-ish. I think it's more like more 150 or 175. But yeah,
like when I see a CSM, my immediate reaction's like, is going to be as expensive as Blade. Because I think Blade, with if you got like all the bells and whistles, or the Garen one, they were. If I had, wasn't Blade like 450?
Well, that's because he also came with his Rouser and the can't remember. It's the thing that he uses to turn into Jack form. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but yeah, he comes with his sword and that. So like that's why. It's because like the accessories that come with it. So there's not really much you can do with the Typhoon that can come with it, unless like they decide to do something crazy and give him his helmet as well. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that was the last big collectible reveal. I mean, obviously Rider Week is still going, so there may be more. We don't know yet, but that was the last thing we had in regards to this. Let me see. What was? Oh, that's the panel schedule. But yeah, so in terms of show announcements that came out, so the Kamen Rider Futo Tante, aka Futo PI, Futo Detective manga is getting an anime adaptation. Now this is gonna be, well, like everybody knew that there was, or everybody thought there was gonna be like, oh, a big reveal. It might be a Kamen Rider anime. They were thinking more of the Spirits manga or an anime adaptation of the Kuga manga. So Futo Tante getting an adaptation was, you know, kind of a shock. So funny enough, the original or the first episode of Kamen Rider Double is up on Toei Tokusatsu World, so you can watch that there. Get yourself familiar with Kamen Rider Double if you've never seen it, because this manga is supposed to be, this manga slash anime is supposed to be a sequel to that series. Excuse me. So what also shocked people is that this was also brought up by Funimation.
Yeah.
Which means that it'd probably be simulcast in English. Now, I really wish that they have open auditions because I would love to voice at least one character in there if I could, because I love Kamen Rider. I love doing voices, and yeah, I would love to do this if I could. But yeah, that was the first big reveal because they had on their website, on the Kamen Rider 50th website, they had 3 counters. So this was the very first one. So I mean, Gary, you like anime as well?
Yeah,
what are your
do.
thoughts on this?
Okay, so I'm very surprised because believe it or not, April 1st was when the Funimation what's it called? The
The Twitter account.
The Twitter account did like an eye emoji talking for a Kamen Rider post. So everyone's like, does this mean that Kamen Rider can be coming to the States on like Funimation? Like, are we finally going to see like other avenues besides Tubi and Tokusatsu for Rider? And then I'm like, no, that this is it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to this because I love Double a lot. Double was my second or third Rider series, depending on how you look at it. I'd love to see how they continue the adventures of Shotaro and Philip because one of my other friends, Wyatt, is he's not really a big Kamen Rider fan. He's seen a couple series, but he loves Double and he loves Philip. So I actually told him this on Friday night, and he's like, I'm gonna sit down and watch. I'm like, I'm very, very happy. Here's a question for you, Reggie, because you're big in the voice acting world.
What's that?
Who do you want to see play Shotaro and Philip in English? Because provided this gets an English dub.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I mean, honestly, like, because I really want to see him get into either as Shotaro or Philip. Like, because I mean, I haven't. Well, I know he's really pushing forward on Twitter, and this honestly, with the whole like, we want to see more, like, people representing their, representing their culture and stuff like that. I would love to see. This may just be biased because like he's kind of a friend. I would like to see Daryl Delphin get one of these roles at least. For Philip though, that's a little bit hard. I mean, well, if we were going for like more mainstream voice actors, I would actually think that maybe Johnny Youngbosch might fit for Shotaro in a way, or Yuri Lowenthal possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Philip is the one that I'm a little bit. I'm not sure who should voice him.
I mean, here's my honest thought. The thought of Johnny Young Bosch playing Shotaro would be hilarious for 2 reasons. First of all, he obviously with the Power Ranger. Second, this would be his second foray into the world of Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Because fun fact, he was the voice of Dragon Knight / Onyx in the Dragon Knight video game on the DS and the Wii.
So yeah, maybe he could play. But yeah, like that's. I mean, like it's. Yeah, this is just very interesting that we are getting this simulcast. I mean, it's funny. I have a friend. She couldn't reveal it to me yet up until like last December-ish.
Mm-hmm.
That she actually got a role in a Funimation dub. So I'm
like, really?
Yeah, congratulations. Then, yeah, it's funny too because we hadn't talked like in years. I mean, COVID for some reason either brings people together or makes them.
Yeah, I mean,
apart. But yeah, like I hadn't talked to her since 2015 when we graduated. So I was just like, I saw her Facebook post. I was like, oh yeah, here, let me just just say like, hey, Happy New Year or Happy Merry Christmas, and like, yeah, we just started talking, and she's like, yeah, I really wanted to tell you this too because like we used to do like voice acting together in college, and like, yeah, I got this role. I'm like, awesome. So when can I see the first episode? Well, it's not up yet. So it's like, okay, I'll just have to watch and wait for it. But yeah, I was just like I was really proud of her.
I mean, going just real quick off what you said about like COVID reconnecting people. So that the aforementioned Wyatt and like my other 2 friends, Alex and Seth, like we weren't talking because life got in the way. We all got really busy. So because of COVID, last September, when Hasbro like had their PulseCon, like I set up a group chat and we talked that entire night. We've talked like every week since about like random crap, and that's as much as COVID sucked a lot, and it still sucks, the fact that it just brought so many old friends together is heartwarming, and it makes me feel good. Like, honestly, I didn't think I was ever going to talk to Wyatt, Seth, and Alex ever again because, like we're all busy. Hell, I don't know if I was ever going to be able to talk to my other friends in like the Tokusatsu community, like Reggie and like our friend Matt and other people, because everyone's like really busy.
I mean, plus, like you and me, we haven't seen each other in person since PMC of 2018. So,
and even then, that was only for a couple of hours, and I actually thought low key you were mad at me for something.
Nah, man, I was just trying to do as much as I could there because remember, I could only come for the Saturday and Sunday. I was like, I bought the full ticket experience, but I'm still like, because back then, 2018 was when I just started my new job,
right?
So. Like I was like, I'm still technically on probation. I can't be gone for too long. So like here, I'm just gonna like Friday night, me and my dad, we're just gonna drive down to Anaheim, just stay there, so that way like Saturday and Sunday I can at least enjoy the convention, and then Sunday, like late Sunday night, we'll drive back up, and it's just like
yeah, because I remember I actually offered you a place to stay in our room because we had another bed.
Yeah, but we were just staying at my sister's house and then my aunt's house. So,
and then hopefully in 2022 or 2023, when the world's back to normal, I'm probably not doing Morphicon again because that was too big. I might do Ranger Stop again, and that's where like everyone is like Klitschushuki, Chris Long, or Long Squays, Liz, Toka Chris, Eric.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going to be heading to. I mean, honestly, we could talk about PMC after this, but yeah. Ranger Stop, if the world comes to a calm again, for sure, I want to try to go for that because, like, I know, like you said, there's a lot of our friends that go to that, and that would just be a great thing to go to. Mm-hmm. So,
anyway,
let's pass off after the anime reveal for a new series reveal. Oh yeah, by the way, the anime is coming in like I think 2020.
2022, which is fair because they probably have like work on it still. And
they have to find like the animation studio. They have to get the voice cast, which I believe the Japanese voice cast, if they can't get Ren Kiriyama and Masaki Suda to reprise their roles, they're probably just gonna go with the voice actors that played them in Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, which honestly sounded fairly close. Like I love that game. I love that game. You got to get a copy, man. They have English subtitle version, I think, still on PlayAsia.
My problem is I only have an Xbox. I don't have a PS4. I don't have a Switch.
This is probably going to be the stream or the episode where I keep saying you got to work on that.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, this is just me in general. The problem is with a game, like me buying a new game console. Like, I wait for like 6 or 7 games to come out that I really want to play. Like on the Switch, I want to say there's like 5.
Oh, there's a Switch version.
Is it in English though?
They should have a sub version as long as you get the Malaysian release.
Malaysian
or Singaporean release. It's one of those two, but they come with English subtitles. So like my sister got me the PS4 version for Christmas. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and it's a very straightforward game. You get to play, of course, as 0, 1, O's, and Double with a couple of other writers, and there is somewhat of some closure for some people, or some like there is like people that come back that you haven't seen in a while. So it's a fun game. Like honestly, if I hadn't already, if my stream of it for the very first time wasn't the end of the game, I would have played it more. I mean, like I could do the mode plus if anybody wants to watch that, but yeah, it's there. But yeah, let's. But like I said, I feel like they're probably going to get those 2 voice actors. I can't remember their names, but they'll probably get them for Shotaro and Philip if they can't get the original Shotaro and Philip.
I mean, I feel like they could get Ren Kiriyama back. I don't know what he's doing, but I know for a fact. I think from I remember reading something that says, who plays Philip again? That's Masaki Suda.
Yeah,
Masaki Suda is falling into the same realm of unavailability as Takeru Sato and Kentro's actor.
He's getting really popular. Like he's been in various other shows, man. So like, yeah, it's if anything, like if he can fit into his schedule. Basically, I think it's not like you could tell he would be okay with coming back because they did that little photo shoot one time. But obviously his schedule is the conflict there.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see like Takeru Sato or Masaki Suda come back, because because all the double stuff from Go got resolved in that movie that they streamed last year, right?
Well, not really in a way, because you never even find out who another double is. That's
right.
And then like when it came to a double episode, Eternal was the representation.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah, so there wasn't really anything with Showtime, but like because the person who gave Sogo the wide watch was like a ramen vendor, if I remember correctly, from Futo. Like that was basically it. Like, oh, so no, like they show double like as like a big part of the movie. And it's like he's not even here. But yeah, so that was that portion of the one of the countdown reveals. The second countdown reveal was surprising to a lot of people because we go from a Heisei thing to a Showa thing, and the Showa thing is Kamen Rider Black Sun. So Kamen Rider Black Sun is reportedly supposed to be a reboot of the 1990s series of Kamen Rider Black, / Kamen Rider Black RX, which kind of brings a lot to mind about why they were revealing why Black was the next Shinkocho Seiho like main rider release that's coming out this month, actually in April, and then the Satan Saber getting revealed. Like it's weird because like you think that, hey, they try to focus on other riders they were trying to show. So it's like, wonder what's going on. But yeah, it's like Kamen Rider Black Sun is apparently well, that's what it was reported. It's supposed to be a reboot of Kamen Rider Black. So, I
mean, I've never seen Black. My only exposure to Black and Black RX was the
Saban Masked Rider.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but the two-parter from DK when they got
when they got
He Who Shall Not Be Named to come back.
Well, we'll say his character name, Minami Kotaro. They had him come back to play both versions of Minami Kotaro. Because decayed shenanigans, alternate dimensions, alternate realities, despite the fact it's supposed to be the same person. But yeah, so Black Sun is 2022 as well, and it says it's supposed to appeal to more adult viewers. I'm guessing it's going to be kind of stylized like The First, and Amazon's, where it's probably not going to be our 2022 Kamen Rider series. It's probably going to be like a separate project, possibly like streamed like in certain parts like or different channels as well, and like still has some part of the Kamen Rider aspect to it, where it may interact with the main series eventually. Like, say, if they decide to do, hey, Decade's back again, bring him in, kind of a way. But I feel like it's going to be not the next Reiwa thing. It's like its own separate Showa-esque project. Because, like, a lot of people are thinking, like, oh, maybe it's a continuation. But apparently, like I said, a lot of news reports have been saying it's a reboot. Well, when we find out more about it,
we will let you know.
Well, yeah, we'll let you know. We'll have to talk about it. So, the very last thing.
Sorry, Reggie. My whole thing is though, anybody who thinks that this is the 2022 writer, it's really early for them to announce it. Like, I don't think we got Saber fully and we got Saber trademarked or announced until June.
Yeah, roughly ish. But yeah, like people were hoping that with these reveals, this was going to be one of the big things that they were going to show, but obviously not at the moment. I mean, who knows? Rider Week is still going on. Like, they could pull it up, something new. But honestly, I think that this may be, these announcements may just be the current announcements. It's probably not until like we're closer to the end of Saber that they're actually going to reveal the next Kamen Rider afterwards. Yeah, this is a Showa project, of course, so it's not going to be the next Reiwa Rider.
Yeah.
But the next is also, surprisingly enough, not a Reiwa reveal either. People were thinking that like the 3 counters meant for 3 different Reiwa projects. Or not 3 different Reiwa projects, but 3 different era-esque projects. So, we got this, and we got Futo Tante. They're like, okay, so the last thing has to be Reiwa related, right?
This blew my mind, by the way.
It is Shin Kamen Rider, directed by Hideaki Anno?
AKA the man who made Shin Godzilla, Shin Ultraman, and Evangelion Neon Genesis, which is one of the greatest anime of all time, from what I've heard.
So Shin Kamen Rider versus Shin Ultraman, I'm thinking going to happen eventually. But yeah, so this is a big thing. It's obviously a recreation of the original Kamen Rider. Because it's funny. People point out like, oh, we already have a Shin Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider Prologue, one of the '90s movies, one of the Lost Showa/Lost Heisei movies. As I think it was. Can't remember if that was Geo that pointed that out or mentioned that, but yeah, like so. Obviously, we have here the representation of Kamen Rider Ichigo with this like badass long coat kind of design. The tattered scarf on the back. I am excited for this. Obviously, you can see here the date here, March 2023 is when this is coming out. So obviously, it's not going to be right after everything else, but it's coming soon as well. And yeah, this is a big thing for Kamen Rider because it's the 50th anniversary. It's like reveal of like a recreation of the original. So this is very nice. I can't wait to see what comes out of it. I can't wait to see the trailer for it. I mean, of course, we've seen Shin Godzilla. We've seen the trailer for Shin Ultraman. Like, so I'm excited to see what comes out of Shin Kamen Rider.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. What I'm looking forward to the most is though seeing what they do because Hideaki Anno, like we both said, Shin Ultraman, Shin Godzilla, and even in the Genesis Evangelion, which I said 3 very good things from what I've heard. I've seen bits and pieces of Evangelion, and I haven't seen Shin Godzilla or Shin Ultraman. But do we know this is live action or animated? Or like anime?
It's likely going to be live action because I mean, like Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman, like they are live action, obviously mixed with the CGI for Godzilla and Ultraman respectively. So I can see this also going the live action route. I mean. Because of the 3 announcements, only Futotante was mentioned as being animation, so I can see this being live action.
And now this brings up a very interesting question because of Saber. You got like Sentai, what's it called, alumni in Kamen Rider now. Pick one Sentai alumni to be to be Ichigo in this.
To be, wait, what?
Just because I'm curious, because like I said, we've had a bunch of Sentai people pop up in Kamen Rider recently. If you could pick any Sentai actor to be Ichigo in this, who do you pick?
Wait, to be Geo?
No. I said to be Ichigo.
You said Geo.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like who's Geo?
Geo is the American name for Kamen Rider Ichigo. So I will be playing him. It will be the first heavy set Kamen Rider. Because
let's see.
While you're thinking, I'll give my answer. Masayuki Daie. Give him a main rider role. He was Boken Silver, please. And he was also the Trigger Dopon in the double movie.
Not bad. Yeah, man, I'm honestly blanking on who we can find. It doesn't really make, but it really all depends, man. I don't think that they would pull like a Sentai alumni unless they actually audition for it. But
that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't think of anything.
Okay. Anyway,
But yeah, that was it for reveals. But of course, like I mentioned before, it's Rider Week, which means Team Kamen Rider is pulling a bunch of panels together. So obviously, it's not the 3rd anymore. So we're moving on. So today there is going to be a panel at 3:00 for Kamen Rider collectibles, and then on the 3rd, the following day, it's going to be a show a day. They're going to show the 7 Kamen Rider movie on Toei Tokusatsu World on their YouTube channel for 24 hours. Then the next day is going to be the Heisei movie, which is going to be Kamen Rider Double A to Z.
The guy remedies of feet.
Yep. And they're also going to have a panel with Toei and Team Kamen Rider where they're going to be talking about, like, obviously they're going to be talking about the Heisei era at this point. Because I know for a fact that for the following day, Kamen Rider photo contest, Reiwa, talk about Reiwa era. They're gonna be talking with, I think it's the producer for Kamen Rider 01. I can't remember. I know that.
Yeah, that's what they announced I think yesterday in the stream.
Yeah, because I know that they were gonna be asking like various questions from different fans that they know had questions for him. Talk about 01 because 01, 01, 01, 01, 01, 01, 01. And the movie is going to be actually Reiwa the First Generation, which was the ZO times 01 movie where you had the alternate timeline 01, R01, like Aruto, but he's in an alternate timeline where Human Gear took over, rather than the somewhat harmonious environment they're living in right now. And then, of course, the very last day is going to be a Q&A for Team Kamen Rider, and as well as the announcement for a photo contest. Like, I entered the photo contest. I'm not hoping to win. I'm just hoping for an honorable mention, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, all these events seem pretty cool. I have just a general question though for people. So I know they announced they're doing for the Showa movie tomorrow night. It's subbed. Are they gonna have subs for A to Z and the other movie?
I believe so, because those movies have been long enough. Because I just realized we didn't put up the other thing that we wanted to talk about. So let me stop the screen so I can pull that up.
Do you mind if I take this one because I'm very excited about this?
Yeah, but let me pull it up for you first.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I believe that it is going to be subbed, because these movies have been out for long enough that as long as they exist, they should be ready. But yeah, there is going to be. I'm pulling up the Token Nation page because it's easier to pull up the new story. I mean, like I said earlier, guys, I've been part of Token Nation for roughly about.
You've been part of Token Nation as long as I've known you, and I've known you 5-6 years.
Ever since I've been a staff member, I think ever since 2012 or 2013. But yeah, let me pull up these two because these were the announcements that came out yesterday. I forgot. Second screen, other side. Where is my mouse? Okay.
Yeah. Let me know when they're up. Yeah. Let me know when they're up, and then I'll speak and I'll reveal.
Screen share.
All right. So, 2 new Rider series going to Tokusatsu. First, we have Kamen Rider 01, which is very unexpected because this series ended a couple of months ago. And I remember all Twitter was like, they had their minds blown. I'm pretty sure a couple of people lost their... Yes, we must all jump and now praise Team Rider. But as somebody who's seen the first couple of episodes of 01 and meant to get caught up, this will be great. Something to keep in mind also is because these are going to Tokusatsu, these will also be on Pluto TV as well as Tubi. And if you guys don't live in North America, I haven't heard anything about them doing international distribution yet, which I know is a thing that a lot of people on Twitter, including Ajax Ranger, shout out to him for having a pretty cool blog.
Yeah.
He's been talking about that, which I really want to see. I really want to see them do more stuff for the international fans. But
I know that we're actively trying to push for that with him because Ajax is one of Token Nation staff members, and we keep trying to hit up people hey, can we get this international? I mean, yeah, because we have 3 staff members that aren't in one that's in North America, but he's in Canada, but it's not available to him. And then the other 2 are part of the UK. So it's come on, can we expand this? I know that there's been there's been tons of fans, a lot of different fans who want to be able to watch this that aren't usually able to. That are in different countries outside of Japan that want to be able to watch this. So as long as we keep pushing for it, like, we'll let you get to them. I mean, it's a big step that we even got this far. So.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a question about 01 also, but we're also getting Kamen Rider Ryuki, which, for the Jays who don't know, was adapted as Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which is a very underrated, what's it called? Which is a very underrated show. And, like, the thing that got me was, why Ryuki? I mean, 01 makes sense because we have both Kuga and Rider 71 on Tubi / Tokusatsu.
So, yeah, the first of the eras type situation. But...
Yeah, and I appreciate them doing Ryuki. But here's the question, though, because I was talking to Chenix, friend of the show, and he was like, the story for 01 ends in a movie.
Kind of.
And I know that in the past, everyone's like, when it comes to getting the Rider movies over here, it's a completely separate agreement that they have to do. But this leads me into another question that has to do with the movies that are going to be airing on Toei's channel. Are they going to be able to be streamed on Tokusatsu at some point?
That I am not sure of yet. Obviously, that's something that has to go between Tokusatsu and Toei, because Toei Tokusatsu World is technically separate, if I believe. And I just had Jin kick Izu's face. Sorry, Izu. So, yeah, like, I'm not 100% sure on the deals, man. So, I mean, we'll just have to keep watching and waiting and seeing.
I mean, I'm happy that Ryuki's coming because I can finally sit down and get past episode 10 of Ryuki, because my whole thing was like, need more Lunsford.
That reveal, though, like, shout out to Mac Dent on Twitter for putting those trailers together, because the Ryuki one, like, the 01 one was like, okay, yeah, this is standard 01, this looks cool, and then, like, all of a sudden you just see the Tokusatsu logo crack and bleed into the opening of Ryuki. That was really good, man. Like, huge shout out to you. I don't know if you're watching, but if you eventually watch this or you ever see this, huge shout out to Mac Dent for that. But
good job.
Really good job on that, man. And then, of course, there is a little bit more of news, and that is that Shout Factory has licensed Kamen Rider 01 for Blu-ray and DVD release. Now, this is huge, guys.
Yeah.
This is the first piece of Kamen Rider physical media to actually be released in North America. Like, this, like I said, this is huge deal. Obviously, not going to be happening anytime soon, because 01, is a fairly recent series. They have to make the subtitles for them. Ryuki, more likely going to be before 01, because Ryuki has been out for so long. There have been fan subs. People have made them before. So they do have, like, some form of basis, and it's just a lot easier to access those video files as well, I believe. So, yeah. Physical media for Kamen Rider 01, that's amazing to have. Because, I mean, like, obviously, some of the gimmick items in Japan, they come released with the DVDs and stuff like that. Yeah. So I have some of those because I wanted the gimmick items. But, yeah, this is the first time, we're ever seeing, like, an English subbed Kamen Rider 01 or Kamen Rider item or DVD, Blu-ray.
Yeah, they said yesterday in the stream, don't expect 01 anytime soon. They said Ryuki in a couple of months, which I'm all for, because that would give me an excuse to just sit down one night and just be like, hey, it's time to watch some Ryuki. And also, guys, just keep in mind, if you want to see more Kamen Rider come to the States in the form of DVD and Blu-ray, support 01, and I'll tell you why. 2014 was when Shout Factory announced that they were doing Jew Ranger on DVD. And they said, if you guys want more, keep buying them. So if you want to see more Rider, you'll get to where Sentai was, because we had Jew Ranger through Hurricaneger, and I'm hoping at some point Shout Factory's like, yeah, we renegotiated the license with Hasbro and Toei. Here's Abba Ranger, Maji, Deka, Boken, all that other fun stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Kamen Rider, if we just keep pushing for it, when these DVDs come out, Blu-rays come out, man, pre-order them if you can. Get them, show them that we love them, so that way we can move on to more series and hopefully continue on. Like, it's that support Blade that they need. So
please give me Blade.
Give me an O's box set. Give me an O's box set right now.
All right, so you want here are the three series I'd buy in a heartbeat: Deno, Blade, and Gain.
Den-O owes build. Like, I know that some people was like, oh, I thought you were going to be all for double. Like, yeah, but Den-O owes and builds for me. I mean, Den-O holds a special place in my heart. It was the series I saw right before I left Japan and continued to watch.
Yeah. I mean,
streaming websites. So
yeah,
like, yeah, I have to get it.
So just for clarification, also Tubi's a free is a free streaming service. It has like a bunch of it has almost every Transformers related cartoon on there except for RID to 2001, which pains me because I have so many figures from that line on my shelf. They have Hell's Kitchen Uncensored. They have a lot of Fox properties. They have Super Sentai. They got Kamen Rider. Also, very interesting note: when Netflix took almost all Power Rangers off, people were like, "Is it going to go to Tubi?" Because that's where a lot of Hasbro's properties are now, and not on Netflix or Hulu. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, Tubi is 100% free. There are commercials, but honestly, they're like 16 to 90 seconds, and yeah. That's my spiel about Tubi.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to watch Kamen Rider, right now you can still catch Kuga, right?
Yeah, they have Kuga, Rider 71, and last time I checked, they had the Geo movie from last year.
Okay. So yeah, you guys can, if you want to watch any Kamen Rider media there, or you can go to Toei Tokusatsu World. Let me actually pull that up if I can right now.
Yeah.
So let's see. YouTube.
And it's like Reggie keeps saying, guys, this is only the beginning of Rider Week. So who knows what else we're going to get announced.
Yep. Speaking of Rider Week, they are going to have, or they currently are having, oh yeah, Toei Tokusatsu World official currently has, if you pull this up, like I said earlier, Kamen Rider Double Episode 1, Kamen Rider Black Episode 1, which is kind of funny because, those were two of the big announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Kamen Rider 3, and then like I said, the movies are going to eventually be playing. If I can find them. Doesn't look like they have them up here yet. They're probably going to have premiere. Yep. See, here's a premiere. So altogether, 7 Kamen Riders. That's going to be the Showa era movie. Then you have A to Z, the Gaia Memories of Fate, and then Reiwa, the First Generation. So, guys, be sure to catch those. They're only going to be available after they premiere for 24 hours. So, be sure to watch them as soon as you can. Get that Kamen Rider fix of yours. Obviously, Doubles is going to be spoilerish because it is partway through the series if you haven't watched Double yet. And then Reiwa, the First Generation, is coming off the tail end of Geo, and is in the first few episodes of 01. So yeah, there's gonna be some spoilerish concepts in these, but I think that other than that, they're gonna be fun movies to watch. So,
oh yeah, without a doubt. I'm excited.
Yep. So like I said, guys, today is the Kamen Rider Collectibles panel at 3:00. Be sure to watch it. It's gonna be, I'm pretty sure it's gonna have a lot of fun people in there. A lot of fun things to talk about in collectibles. It's basically a lot of people on Kamen Rider, the fandom. A lot of them love to collect, so be sure to catch that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Gary, any final words though before we end off here?
No, but Reggie, where can people find you on the internet, my friend?
Oh, of course. You guys can find me at 2KROs on Twitter. Right now, I am, of course, on my Twitch, which is also 2KROs. I do have a YouTube channel called True KRO Reviews. Yeah, like I said earlier, people keep calling me True Crew, so 2KRO Reviews. I don't have much on there. The last episode I have on there is Shouta. So I've got a lot to cover. I mean, if you guys want to see more, just be sure to let me know. And then, yeah, that's basically most of my stuff. I used to have a page called Fandai Customs, about commissions and customs. Honestly, that page is just there now. I haven't really done much commissions, so it's just there until I actually start building back up because I have a lot on my plate that I still have to catch up and finish painting up. So until I can do that, that's there. So primarily, you can find me though at True KROs. Obviously, we made the Bugz2Men Twitter page. Let me see if I can pull up.
Yeah. I feel like we need a theme song or holding music,
So let me get out of that. Let me find our page. So yeah, if you guys are wondering what the name comes from, so Gary and I were trying to figure out a name. We thought Gary came up with Bugmen, and then I thought like, why not like Boys2Men, but Bugz2Men, because Bug Kamen Rider theme, and then the men is actually supposed to be like not just men, but also like the men part of Kamen.
Yeah.
So you see our little logo. I hand drew it really quickly on my phone. Our buddy Eric actually has offered to update this. I can't wait to see what he can come up with. That's gonna be amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting. Gary's gonna be posting whenever we can get up here. Like a lot of different things. Obviously, we just started the page yesterday. So if you guys want to give us a follow there, you can follow us there as well. Once we get YouTube to not have that 24-hour restriction on us, that's where we're going to be putting our episodes up. We're just using my Twitch right now just because it was the easiest streaming platform we have. So yeah, if you guys want to follow us there, you can find us there. And Gary, what about you, man? Where can I find you?
GBakes93. I'm all over the place. Instagram, don't follow me there. That's for personal crap. Twitter, I have a YouTube channel. I talk about halls and I talk about whatever's on my mind, including football, because I'm a Jets fan. Yeah. I'm also on Spotify, but I don't produce music.
See, like I've written a lot of like raps and things like that, and I need to figure out how to make a beat, and then maybe we can make our Bugz2Men theme song. But yeah, it's like, because I mean, like, well, if anybody's watched my YouTube videos, my reviews, I just do a little, like talked about theme, like talk to ya, I'm here to talk to ya about toys.
Yeah,
that's my little jingle for that. So like, we gotta think of something for Bugz2Men. Obviously, I'm gonna start off the episodes with my usual greeting. Like, hey, what's up, my bros? Bros being spelled BROO.
I love it.
What's up, my bros?
What up, my bros?
So yeah, whenever we can get more guests on here, like I would love to do that. Next episode, we're probably going to be talking about Kamen Rider Saber. Obviously, I was working on my car yesterday, so I missed the episode for this week. And then next week, Gary's not going to be available, so we're going to have 2 episodes that we're going to watch and then like talk about next Saturday. Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that.
Wait, I thought we were doing Fridays.
We're doing a combination of Saturdays or Fridays. Friday nights, I guess it's really dependent.
Yeah, I mean, we'll end the episode and then we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, but yeah, guys, like I said, follow Gary at GBakes93, follow me at 2KROs, and then follow us at Bugz2Men or Bugz2M. Apparently, I didn't register the full username apparently, so I gotta fix that. But yeah, guys, thanks for catching up with us on our very first episode, and I can't wait to do more of these. It's really fun to do this again. I can't wait to get more guests. Can't wait to talk more stuff. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We're tuning out. Bye.
Later.
And brought